Breaking news. The vault is open and the fright reels have escaped. With your hosts, the Gyms. Sit back and put on that raincoat because it's going to get bloody.
Bloody awful if you ask me.
Fright Reels is brought to you by Slap Happy Toys.
Slap Happy Toys where nightmares play. Come on down, it's your lucky day. With every toy, a haunted smile, dark magic fun that'll last a while. Get your chills, get your scares. Slap Happy Toys, they're everywhere.
Here at Slap Happy Toys, we use the best materials for your products like polycarbonate silicone from the base of active volcanoes.
With every toy, a haunted smile, dark magic fun that'll last a while. Get your chills, get your scares. Slap Happy Toys, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Slap Happy Toys.
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
We're back.
we are back. It's been how many months? 4 or 5, maybe?
Guess so. October maybe was the last one.
Yeah.
Is this going to be a problem with us looking at each other and not talking into the mic?
I don't
feel
know.
like it is.
I don't really want to look at you that
Like
much.
if we're like this. If the mic is more, yeah. You already had that. I didn't have that.
Yeah, I don't, yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's try that. Yeah, it's been like since October, I think.
Yeah, I
that
think
feel
so.
right?
Right.
So we're getting back into it, kids. It had been a long time. We, shit just got away from us, I guess.
Went to Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Went and saw Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum.
Yes, we did.
That was pretty cool.
It was really cool. You know what I've been telling people about that place? I'm like, that's the only time I've ever gone to one of those things and not felt ripped off.
Right.
Like it was like $100 and I felt like I got every damn penny's worth. It was like a 2.5 hour tour.
So there's thousands of supposedly haunted items in this place.
Yeah.
And dolls. There was a whole room full of dolls. And then Peggy.
There was dolls every fucking where though too. In every corner of every room, not just the doll room.
So Peggy is a haunted doll. It was behind glass. And
Was she the one that was talking to us? Through
yes,
those things?
through the spirit box.
She was fucking with us.
So you weren't allowed to get close unless you paid the extra. And so
Which we had already paid all the extras we could.
Yeah, it was weird.
You know what was the coolest part on the extras that we paid was the basement.
Yeah.
The basement was a cool
That was
extra
a
thing.
big satanic room. That was crazy.
That's what they said. And the Dybbuk box got me.
Yeah.
That one kind of grabbed me by the boom boom.
That was another one behind glass, and they had all kinds of Jewish prayers carved into the glass. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And that it's funny because they set you up with like you're in the room before you go into that room, right? And they're telling you about now if you don't want to go in there, you don't have to.
Right.
And we're like,
Yeah.
we'll be fine. You know,
Right.
It's our 40th fucking room. Don't you think we're gonna say yes by now? You
Yeah.
haven't figured us out.
And we had to crawl through a tunnel behind some haunted wardrobe.
That was wild.
yeah.
Crawl through the tunnel. I can't imagine that being okay for everybody though.
No.
Because I'm pretty big, but I'm
You're
fairly
tall.
thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm girthy. But it was cool, man. And because in addition to that, they had that fucking the Ed Gein thing was pretty much the coolest.
Yeah, the
room.
serial killer room was really cool.
Yeah, well, the general serial killer room was cool, but then Ed Gein had his own.
Yeah,
Remember, it was like
yeah.
the old barn.
They recreated that from the American Horror Story people.
Yeah, the
redid that.
set designers. That was really fucking cool. It was all just great, man. It was really worth it. It was worth every damn penny.
And not to be weird, I felt weird the whole time, and like I dizzy almost. You said you kind of felt that way.
Yeah, you are weird.
Well, yeah, but I just didn't feel right. It was very strange.
I, on the other hand, think it's a bunch of hocus pocus. And
I mean, maybe
made
just
up.
because it was close quarters and it was dark, and I
they
don't know.
got the vibe exactly right.
Yeah,
And the tour guides were good.
yeah.
They were fun. We had like 3 different
Yeah,
ones.
they kept
would,
changing.
Change off with you, and that was fun. They were all really into it and really cool, and they all brought their own little sort of quirky thing to it.
Right.
It was great, man. But yeah, so that was part of the. It's weird for us in the winter with our day jobs. We have a very seasonal world that we live in, and it hits this one stretch, and we basically just don't have. And you know how the fucking holidays are anyway, dude. There's no time for anything. Add to that,
We're snowblowers.
yeah, and snowblowers, and then add to that this shit that we have to do. Anyway, the short version is we're back, and we're
Yeah.
going to try to commit to doing this a little bit more often. We've got some coming up. We're going to be doing a live sort of a hosting gig or a introduction
Yeah.
for something coming up at the Lorraine Palace for the Evil Dead soon. So we're going to be doing that one in about a week. But tell them what we have for them today, Jimmy.
The Substance
Yeah.
with Demi Moore
Yeah.
and Margaret Qualley.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say her name. So that's Andy McDowell's daughter.
I used to be in love with Andy McDowell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That
Groundhog Day. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Even, what was the other one? She was like, was it St. Elmo's Fire? Where she was like the like older chick that like Emilio Estevez was in love with or
I
something?
don't know. I don't remember that. I don't remember her in that.
I feel like that's right.
Hmm.
There's some fucking 80s movie where like
Yeah.
she's like 23 and the guy that likes her's like 19 and not mature enough to like love her or some shit. I don't know. She was always fucking cool. And her daughter, amazing.
So one of the reasons why we're doing this one is because it had how many awards? 8 nominations.
I don't know.
There was a couple Oscar awards.
I'm surprised Demi didn't win the Oscar. She got the Gold Globe.
Got the Gold Globe, but
That performance was unbelievable.
yeah. That's obviously her best movie, I think. Besides what do you think's her another good one?
What was the one with her and Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd where the judge like? Did you ever see that thing?
What was that called?
Like Enough is Enough or Too Much.
Yeah,
It was something. It was the worst fucking thing ever, dude.
Yeah.
I just watched it like 2 months ago, like over winter, because there was a thing that said it was one of those movies that like people didn't give a chance. You got to give this one another chance. It's a masterpiece.
Right.
And I watched it, and it wasn't. That's a great one, dude. She's unbelievable, and in The Substance. I don't think there's anything to compare it to. I kind of used to sort of badmouth her acting chops a little bit, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, in Ghost, she was not very good.
Yeah,
I mean, she did her part, but
she
it was
did this. She has had. It doesn't matter. We'll skip
Right.
through that bullshit.
Yeah.
She was fucking amazing in this.
Yeah.
She really had her fucking acting chops down, and a daring role as a 60-year-old woman to be head to toe butt naked in this fucking thing.
She showed everything.
And I mean that's brave at any age.
Yeah,
I'd
bright
say.
lights in the bathroom, everything.
Yeah, I
Showed
mean there was no
everything.
hiding it.
Yeah.
And laying on top of Margaret Qualley, also naked. How do you go? So you're in the fucking dressing room that day, like before or whatever. I see you naked on the stage. Don't forget, wear deodorant today. We're going to be rolling around nude on each other.
They never met before that.
Before that scene or
Before the movie? Before the movie.
Well, I mean,
They never
that
met.
stands to reason, I guess. Yeah.
But, you know.
So I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, I know you've got some fun facts here, but that Margaret Qualley's boobs are fake.
Yes.
They're prosthetics.
Yes.
That's really shocking to me.
Yeah. But if you go back and look now, her nipples look a little funny.
I told you that before. The first time I watched it, I'm like, why are her nipples orange?
Yeah, they're off color. They didn't get the color right.
If there's a seam, I didn't fucking see it.
Yeah, you can see.
I mean,
yeah.
obviously there's digital effects now too to help with makeup, but
Right.
I mean,
But yeah, I mean, she's a thin girl, and isn't as large as they showed her in the movie. But
yeah, yeah,
they had to make her.
And we're going on and on about Demi's performance, but obviously Margaret Qualley's performance was amazing too.
very
She
good.
was fucking killer. Who's great
Right.
in it is Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, they kept showing him up close, nasty chewing
he's like
and
sucking on fucking shrimp and
So he was not the original guy they cast. It was Ray Liotta they cast first,
and he died.
and he died.
No shit.
Yeah.
Ray could have done it, I guess, but I don't know. Dennis brought a uniquely slimy thing to it. He's a little bit more.
I think it was a better choice.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain why he's better in that role, but he's great in it, man.
Yeah,
he's like the perfect slimy
loudmouth
producer, agent, whatever he is in Hollywood. In that, he's just he's the brass or whatever.
Right.
It's funny too. I love that scene where it's him he's running around with the money. Like all the investors, and they're like little kids all running around. Those fucking old guys, looking at half naked young girls like Hollywood fucking does, basically.
Yeah. And that's kind of the theme of this whole movie is, the aging women and how they
basically
play.
have no worth in Hollywood.
Right. And so the movie starts with Elizabeth Sparkle is her name. She's which I read a theory online that may have been either an homage to Donnie Darko with Sparkle Motion, or one of the girls from Sparkle Motion became Elizabeth Sparkle.
Jim, I'm
But that's
concerned
all.
about your dedication to Sparkle Motion.
Yes.
Sometimes I doubt your commitment to Sparkle Motion.
And I'm not as dedicated as I should be. Poor
That
Shannon.
lady's in a new series. that I really like with Kevin Bacon.
yeah.
That one I was telling you about.
Yeah, I was going to start watching that.
Yeah, we'll have to do that on here. That's a good series, man. I mean, you know, it's got hell and demons, so it's in our genre. So anyway, back to the substance. The thing about the substance, before we get even more into it, is I had sort of heard about it, but didn't really hear about it. I mean, I guess I heard good things about it, like right from the jump. But it was like, I think it was Paul, you know, Subway Paul, who was like, dude, you got to fucking see this thing. And basically, if he says it, I'm in. You know, right. We all share the same tastes. You know how it is. There's people whose opinion you trust way more than others. And it was him, and it might have been Jay as well, Reem, and was like, dude, you got to fucking see this thing. And I can't remember. Anyway, people that I trust recommended it, and I watched it. It was fucking amazing. You being one of them. I think you saw it before I did.
Yep.
And I was like, God damn. But yeah, it was really great. It was really intense. It was really well acted. It was really deep. Of course, it had social constructs as sort of the background to the story, like you said, with women's worth, basically not only in Hollywood, but in modern society in general, right? Where to sort of women's worth. Then there was sort of another underlying thing, and it wasn't just women, because the guy who turned her out of the substance was a guy.
Right.
So there's this other sort of construct about youth being the only valued thing, and looks being the only valued thing, both in men and women.
Right.
So that was so there was this whole sort of deep, which is a departure for a lot of horror. You know what I mean? To go that deep with a subject matter, which is what the things that made it all good, and legitimized the fact that it got so ridiculous at the.
So it starts off these weird scenes with they're showing an egg with yolk. And, and they inject this stuff into it. You don't see who it is. They just show the process. And all of a sudden, the yolk separates into two.
It doubles, yeah.
But it's still one egg is kind of the whole thing with it.
What a wild concept.
And then they show the Hollywood Walk of Fame and Elizabeth Sparkle's star they're making.
Yeah, she gets a star.
Because she's an aerobics instructor. She's famous.
Just for my own
for years and years.
Weird nerd things. I liked watching them construct the star.
Yeah, it was cool.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Go on.
And then they show it over time, people dumping stuff on it, walking over it. It starts to crack. Somebody, I think, drops fries with ketchup all over it, and they just kind of leave it.
My first problem, I have a few problems with this movie. My first problem is in that there's quite a bit of snow for fucking Los Angeles that falls on that goddamn thing.
Was there snow?
A bunch of fucking snow.
Okay. Wow.
And I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah, it is LA.
Maybe once in a while, but they're not going to get a fucking foot.
Plot hole.
Yeah.
And then they show her dancing and doing her show.
And it's like a jazzercise show, for lack of a better term.
And then I kind of, it's set in the 80s, I think, the way it looks.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But she's been doing it now for 30 fucking years.
Right. Now she's 50 years old. It's her birthday. So she goes, and then she goes into the bathroom. And it happens to be a men's bathroom because the women's bathroom is closed, which is kind of a little symbolic of this.
Yeah.
She goes into a stall, and then Harvey, which is Dennis Quaid's character, shows up on the phone, bitching about he wants a younger actor. She bitching about her.
The newer, the better.
Yeah.
The sexier, younger.
And she hears this whole thing, and he leaves, and she comes out, and she's devastated, and she she's a mess.
Just for my own personal thing, I'll be honest. I think I'd still take Debbie. I would take 60-year-old naked Demi over 20-year-old naked Quali. She's sexy as fuck, man. Still.
Yeah, she's very, very pretty. Very,
whatever.
She's, yeah.
But no, lovely figure.
She's a lovely woman.
She was fucking hot in that movie, man.
No, I don't know.
I still go. I gotta go with
the other one's better.
Doesn't matter. We're making it.
She sort of has that girl next door kind of look to her.
Who does, Megan?
Yeah. Or Margaret.
Yeah, or Margaret. Yeah, Demi's a little bit more exotic or whatever. But I don't know. We're making this exactly what they were complaining about. Men overanalyzing women's looks. God damn it, it's my fault.
That's all part of it. Yep.
Fucking Demi.
So
pretty.
In the bathroom, this kind of ties into a whole lot of things. It's a red bathroom. It looks just like the Shining bathroom.
So does the hallway.
And the hallway walking to the bathroom looks similar.
Which,
the
by
bright
the
colors.
way, going down the hallway, it's all posters of her show
over the years.
Hallway. For now.
Right.
Which reminds me of Warrant saying they knew their career was over when they went into, let's just say it's EMI. It doesn't matter which record studio it was or which company. They went into EMI and it was their poster was in the lobby, a 20-foot poster themselves. And they went in like a month later and it was now Nirvana. They were down, and it was or Soundgarden or somebody, and they knew that was the end of their fucking deal.
How did Janie Lane? Is that his name?
Yeah.
How'd he die? I don't remember. I was thinking of that the other day. No.
Alcoholism? I mean, he's young.
Didn't he have like MS or diabetes or something? I know Bret Michaels has diabetes.
He's a local boy, Janie Lane. Go on. You're talking amongst yourselves. I'm going to do some research.
And so there's a lot of Easter eggs like that with The Shining and Kubrick and Cronenberg and David Lynch. And there's a lot of that.
Yeah, a lot of homage to the greats.
Right. I mean, it's almost like a documentary of all their shit in a way. In the background. I mean,
you can tell with these better horror movies that these people grew up fans of the same things we were.
Yeah.
You can't help, even if you don't do a direct homage to somebody, it comes out in your work. You know what I mean? You can't help but sound a little bit like the Beatles if you're a Beatle fan. You know what I mean? And it happens in movies too. Acute alcohol poisoning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Too bad. 2011, he was...
he dated Bobby Brown and... didn't he... who was it?
He was 47. It's too bad.
Wow.
Anyway, and then
you can put it in a brown paper bag and come put it in my hand because I'm ready to eat.
To the doctor and gets checked out for something.
Yeah, and she's fine.
There's a guy there, and he looks like
he looks fake.
His fake eyes,
he's
bright.
Too pretty.
Yeah, and so he hands her a USB stick, and it has the substance on it. And she goes home, puts it in the TV or computer, and she watches the whole video on this chemical.
And essentially, the short version is the substance basically can make you young, right? But it doesn't make you young. No. It makes a second you.
You basically birth someone out of your spine, and there's a younger you version of you.
You know they won the Makeup Academy Award.
Well, it was Best Picture. Didn't win, but it was nominated. And that was the second horror movie ever? Is that what it was, or third?
I don't know. Well, certainly Silence of the Lambs won.
That won. Yeah.
And I think maybe Exorcist was up for it.
Yeah, and didn't win.
Yeah. And then also Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Warrior. But they won for makeup, and fucking rightly so, dude.
Yeah.
I thought for sure Nosferatu was going to steal the makeup award because it's a more big budget mainstream Hollywood film, but they fucking didn't. The right person won because that makeup in that movie, dude.
I mean, the Nosferatu, the atmosphere and the visuals are
spectacular.
amazing.
And I think they won for cinematography or something, which is fine. Yeah. But when it comes down to straight out fucking makeup, dude, the substance was
especially the end. Oh my god!
Yeah, with Monstro
Elisa Sue.
I fucking love Monstro Elisa Sue.
I think the internet made that word up.
She puts the fucking earring.
Oh, the earring. That's a homage to Vertigo. Where what is it? Judy's trying to make herself look like Madeline, and she did the same kind of thing. And Vertigo,
I didn't make that connection.
And they used the same score for that scene.
No.
The Vertigo score is in that scene.
I'll have to. I need to watch Vertigo again. It's been a while. I've seen Rear Window more than I've seen Vertigo. Are you a Hitchcock fan in general?
Yeah.
Did you ever see Rope?
No.
So Rope is it's a third Jimmy Stewart, Alfred Hitchcock movie. But it's interesting because that whole movie takes place in an apartment, and he did it as an experiment, Alfred Hitchcock, to have an edit every 15 minutes only, whether you needed one or not. So it'd be 15 minutes with no edits, just like a long scene, like a play. And then in 15 minutes, one edit. And then 15 minutes of film, and then one edit. It was really cool. That's a good fucking movie, man. That one, I like that one a lot. You should check that one out.
Yeah.
We should do a Hitchcock day one day.
Yeah. I like Jimmy Stewart.
Dude, he's him and my dad have the same birthday.
Really?
Yeah. He's my dad's favorite, obviously. You've been to the house.
Mm-hmm.
There's fucking It's a Wonderful Life shit all over their living room.
Yeah. It's like a museum.
It is like a museum. They should have more stuff about their son, Jimmy. Should be a Jimmy museum with pictures of me everywhere. Maybe if you bump me off, I can make it to museum level.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're always talking about killing me.
Sure. Why not?
Leaving me out in the desert after your fucking 30 days in Vegas.
So yeah, I was in Vegas for 17.
You went crazy, y'all. You were fucking losing it with your goddamn banging of the drum or whatever the fuck.
What was that? What was that song? Kipling. Yeah, you have to play that in the edit.
Oh, yeah. So
great.
Yeah, we're gonna play it briefly. It's the fucking sound that they use to break Navy SEALs, dude. During Navy SEAL training, they try to break them in every way possible. And one of the ways that they try to break them is psychologically. And the way that they do it is by playing this.
Boots, 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 moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. Don't look at what's in front of you. Boots, 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 moving up and down again. Men go mad with watching them. There's no discharge in the war.
And this, Jim was listening to on fucking loop.
Over and over.
For pleasure.
I was there for 17 days. I kind of lost it. But I went out into the desert to the Valley of Fire. If you're ever in Vegas, you should go there.
Yeah, I want to see
It's
that.
really cool.
Do you remember I was on a thing for a while with that fucking video of that dancing doll? And it was all fucking weird. That was my first trip to Vegas. And it was, oh, you beautiful doll, you great beautiful doll. And it's this fucked up, like, early animation
I don't remember that.
doll. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
I'm going to play it right now. But I was...
It's not... It's almost like a AI generated.
It's like poorly done though, like the hair doesn't fit on it.
Right.
It's like a 20-year-old video or something.
Yeah.
But I was obsessed with that. I watched that on loop for a long time. It's like that. It lived in my brain, man. Like you and that fucking Rudyard Kipling shit.
The reason that's popular now is because it was in the trailer for the new 28 Years Later.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
That's
Hey man, I saw a trailer the other day for I can't remember. Damn it, I gotta look it up. It looked really cool. There was a new thing coming out. That doesn't matter. Anyway, back to the substance. So we both go crazy in Vegas, but we're back in Ohio now, where we're just our normal crazy selves. So I have something to say about this fucking substance here. So long story short, she fucking splits herself into two people, and essentially, it's weird because like she gets 5 days as 7 days as the young version, then they hook up their fucking spines or whatever, and then 7 days is her old version, right?
She has to feed the body, the
you gotta keep it alive.
Keep that one with a substance. Then she has to drain stuff out of the spine and inject that.
Which is fucking hardcore gross scenes, man. That's some cringy shit.
So they started talking about, and they would call the number. There's like some number to call for support, and they keep saying like, "You're one, don't mess up the balance," that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And,
So essentially, it's weird because it's not like you get to be young. That's what I always thought about that. I was like, and I talked to Mary about it too, and I was like, how does Demi get anything out of this? She doesn't remember her time as, what's the other girl's name?
Sue.
Sue. She doesn't remember her time as Sue, so she doesn't get any benefit out of it.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing.
Right. She doesn't remember anything.
If you were like a fountain of youth and you got to be young, but she doesn't.
Right.
She's just giving her energy to a stranger for 7 days.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Well, what's the benefit? And then Sue gets all fucking greedy.
Yeah. Yeah, her ego took over and she started wanting more time and started taking it. Yeah. And so that made Demi Moore's character start to deteriorate and get very old quickly.
Yeah, so like if you take an extra day, all of a sudden she had a fucking crooked witch finger.
Yeah. And
then she took 2 days and she had a club foot.
Yeah.
And it basically turned her into an old fucking crone monster.
Yeah.
Now, here's my next problem with that. By the way, I like the neighbor across the hall too. That guy's a fucking worm.
So he thinks Sue builds some small room to keep the body in, so there's no issues
or whatever.
And all the construction going on, and the guy starts pounding on the door, complaining, and then Sue answers the door in her in her little half shirt, little shorts.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, Mary was. It's funny. Mary was complaining that because we didn't kind of realize that it's a whole separate person at first. We thought it was supposed to be like a younger Demi, and Mary was under the belief that she wasn't pretty enough to be a younger Demi. From the neck down, she's flawless, but from the neck up, she didn't think she's as pretty as Demi.
I disagree. I don't know, that's just me.
I mean, she's really pretty. She just looks different. Like Demi was like CoverGirl pretty back in the day, you know? Yeah. Anyway, the point being, from the neck down, she's flawless. And that guy had to run into her and he was a fucking idiot. Now, so she's stealing her fucking life, and now Demi's a fucked up crone, and she needs to make her crone way across town to where the fucking locker is where she gets her shit from.
Yeah,
the substance people.
Yeah.
It's in like the ghetto, man, and it's in this weird building, and then there's these lockers with your number on it, and you get your shit from them.
The room.
Yes.
The room she goes in, it's very similar to the Space Odyssey. It had that look to it.
Yes, it does, and it also feels like it's got a little THX 1138 going on there.
Yeah.
But now, so this is what gets me though. I keep touching you. Is
I
that
know.
making you uncomfortable?
Yeah,
you made us sit on the same side of the table. So we fucking
messing up my solitude
so she's
bubble.
fucking walking to the goddamn place. She puts on a big yellow raincoat. She has some god awful dress and like orthopedic shoes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And like knee high, like old lady fucking stockings, right? Because now she's a crone. My point is, she wouldn't own those shoes. Just because she's now a crone, she's not going into her closet of her old orthopedic shoes.
Yeah, but her
She
feet are all
wouldn't have
messed
them.
up, and she can't wear
Where'd she get
heels anymore. I don't know.
She doesn't. She could only go with what's already in her apartment. 'Cause she doesn't
Amazon.
leave her apartment. There's no way she would have had. She could have had sneakers,
Right.
but there's no fucking way she had those old brown tacky ass fucking shoes
No.
in her Hollywood loft.
Amazon.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
let's get to the good stuff.
So
Well, another thing, so we kind of skipped over the fact that, yes, so Warrant walked into the radio station or the fucking music producers and the picture was changed. Same with the hallway in the studio where they filmed Sparkle Magic.
Right.
Because all of the pictures now were of Sue and her show was way sluttier.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then there's a whole thing with that. She, during the filming of those scenes, she's very uncomfortable. Because she's, doesn't like sticking her ass in the air. So she was high and drunk during those scenes.
The actor?
Yes.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
But you know what's interesting is Sue starts feeling the effects of stealing time too, because all of a sudden, like her fucking rib popped out of her ass or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And they she freaked out, but then they looked at it on the camera, and I don't think anybody saw it.
No.
It was like it was only her going crazy, or I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
And so you
know what was great was that she took that shitty fucking gift of being a French cook that she got from Dennis Quaid, and then decided as it was her like retirement 50th going away gift.
Yeah.
And then she used it and cooked all of that French cuisine and just kept leaving shit all over the apartment. So every time Sue woke up, it was just a fucked up thing.
She'd eat chickens, like
old food, whole chickens
chickens.
and cakes and souffles and shit. That was good stuff.
Yeah. So things go bad, and she starts transforming even more. And what happens? How do they start forming together? They start fusing together.
Yeah, well, how did that?
I think she tried to kill her.
She did kill her.
Yeah, she did kill her, and then she came back.
So how did she kill her though? How were they both awake at the same time?
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
I don't remember.
Oh, she injected the substance again, the original substance.
Oh, that's right. That's it. Yep.
And that did it. That was.
And then they were both awake together.
They start beating each other's ass.
Yeah, that was a good fight scene.
Yeah.
And then Demi Moore killed Sue, right?
Yes.
She strangled her.
Yes.
And then she felt bad, so she tried to wake her up by re-injecting her.
Right.
And then that's when they morphed into fucking Monstro Elisa Sue.
And so there's this big thing that she had to do the New Year's Eve show.
Yeah, like the Dick Clark New Year's Hot Rockin' Eve or whatever. She was going to be the host for this station because Sue is such a big star now.
Yep.
But what's funny is even that's interesting. That was another homage, like the Monstro Sue or whatever.
Right.
They'd have a title card for like different scenes, just like in The Shining when it would be like Thursday.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't stop touching you, dude. I feel bad. It's freaking you out. Isn't he touchable, folks? But anyway, so they morph into the most ghastly fucking creature in recent cinema memory.
And Demi's face is like sticking out the back in this like frozen scream.
Yeah. I mean, one of her faces.
Yeah.
Sue's face looks like the Elephant Man.
Right. She's trying to put earrings on and trying to fix stuff, and she's wearing like a ball gown and.
Oh yeah, but her fucking big old titties hanging out all floppy and weird. She sticks a fucking like a earring in and is like, oh, that looks nice. Yeah. Then She takes a picture of her fucking face and cuts it out and staples it to her head.
The problem with that, though, she shuffles to
And
the
everybody's
studio.
like okay with it.
They open the door for her and let her in. It's like, what?
Yeah. There she is. And then it is the most unexpected and fucked up final 20 minutes of a movie.
Which is another, it's homage to Carrie with the blood scene.
At least.
Just blood everywhere. She starts, the entire studio is just full of just.
Her boob pops out and everybody freaks out. Then blood everywhere. Does she start killing people or somebody's killing people?
No, they just start like stampeding and people, I don't know, people just die.
And then she makes it outside.
And starts turning into a blob. Like she starts breaking down.
She de-evolves into like a gelatinous goo that ends up inching its way onto the star on the Walk of Fame and ends the way it started.
And she kind of dissolves on the star, and then people just go by with the street sweepers and sweep it up, and she's gone.
It's a really good movie, man.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I think I've seen it 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah.
It was really worth it. What other fun facts do you have about the makeup and the stars and things? Do we know the director? It was a woman, wasn't it?
Yeah. The director is, I don't know if I could say her name. What is her name?
Do you not know how to pronounce it?
Coraline Fargeat.
Did she ever do
She's
anything
French.
else that we like?
This is all filmed in France.
Is that right? I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what she's done other than
I've seen some good French horror.
French horror.
Yeah, seen a couple of good French horrors. Hot Tension comes to mind.
Yeah, that had a
with our saw on it.
Yeah,
or somebody saw.
Somebody saw.
Did you see Live a Day?
No.
Oh, dude. Jimmy.
All right.
Did you see Martyrs?
Sounds familiar.
Did you see Inside?
Was that a horror movie?
Yeah, the chick was pregnant, and like somebody broke into the house and like cut her baby out or wanted to or something.
No.
You see that?
No.
It's real fucked up. So it's the same person that made these like French horror movies, but Live a Day, it's livid but with an E on it.
Yeah.
It was wild too because that one, my friend Elon had recommended that one, and years ago, man, it's this French horror film, and I had always looked it up because I saw other films by that director, and for some reason there was no version of that available with either English subtitles or English overdub at all for like 15 years. You couldn't get one, and I just couldn't. That was beyond me, man. You could get it with Swedish subtitles, you could get it with German subtitles, but you couldn't get an English one. I could not understand that.
Yeah, you keep saying foreign horror movies are really good. I can't get into reading while I'm trying to watch the suspense.
Yeah, see, the one that got me was Hot Tension.
Yeah.
Before that, I could not watch a movie with subtitles. I couldn't do it. That one broke me of that. But that was a good one to start with, too, because there's only like 11 lines of dialogue in the whole fucking movie anyway. So there's not that much to read because it's more how the movie's being made. You know?
Yeah.
But that got me used to kind of doing it together. And now I've got a lot that I really love. Mary Ann's another one. Did you watch that? It was a series on
Yeah,
The
I
Witch.
started to.
That was French as well. That was really fucked up and really good. Yeah, you got to go further with that, dude. They start getting into like serious demonic.
I know Japanese horror is really fucked.
Yeah, I don't like Japanese horror.
It's really like it's crazy. I don't know.
I never watched any of those. I never saw Ringu. I never saw. You did?
Mm-hmm.
The subtitles didn't bother you then?
No, because again, there wasn't much talking. I mean,
that's the way most of those horror movies are.
Yeah.
Did you see? What was the one? Train to Busan.
No.
Saw that one. The other thing is there's a few good, Mary and I have seen recently, there's quite a few good Scandinavian ones, Norwegian specifically, but at least 1 or 2 Swedish ones. Like the original Let Me In or Let the Right One In or whatever, the Swedish version's the original.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Where the little girl was a vampire?
Yep.
The Swedish one's fucking hardcore, man. It's way better than the American one. And it's a lot more unsettling.
Yeah.
Like there's some questionable shit in that fucking movie.
So I think now Demi Moore is going to have a few more roles.
Yeah.
And this Margaret Qualley, I think she's going to be big.
She's the new it girl.
Yeah.
She's got offers everywhere.
There's a couple fake trailers online about Groundhog's Day 2.
Yeah, that's dumb.
And it's not real, but it looked real.
Yeah,
but
it's her as their daughter or something.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know her as an actor, the one way that I remembered her, or I didn't even realize it until I watched it again, is she's the hitchhiker in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, with Brad Pitt
picks up and takes back to the ranch for Charlie Manson.
Yep. And she was in The Leftovers. There was a show on HBO a few years ago.
But I knew her in that. She did her lip bite thing.
Yeah, and she still does it. And it was
that's her little go-to and everything. And no one's complaining. No. You know what's wild? I didn't realize, because we were in that Kevin Bacon series that we're watching. The guy is in it that played Charlie Manson in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Okay? He's the same guy that played Charlie Manson in Mindhunters. I never knew it was the same Charlie.
Oh. They're bringing a season 3 out for that.
They've been saying that for 10
But they
years.
finally said they're doing it. So who knows?
You can't help but bang shit on this table, can you?
I know.
Every time you touch that table, I'm touching you.
Don't touch me. Kill you.
Yeah, so it was really good, man. I mean, I give that one a full fucking 5 tombstones. I don't, aside from the dumb little quirks.
Tombstones. We doing tombstones now?
What are we doing?
Bloody raincoats.
5 bloody raincoats for me. What about you?
Yeah, I'd say 5. Yeah, that's good.
I just can't, I don't really have any problem with it, aside from a couple little quirky things.
Right.
It was written well. It was acted well. It was filmed well. It was interesting. It was challenging. It was thought-provoking. It was entertaining. It was ridiculous at times. It was scandalous.
A lot of nakedness in this one.
Daddy liked it. Yeah, there was a lot of nudity too, like the good old 80s horror films.
Yeah.
There was always some naked 80s stuff. Oh my God, we were watching one the other day. The fuck was it? Was it Graduation Day? Oh, we were flipping through Amazon, and I think it was Graduation Day. It was just some 81 or 82 horror film. Like, I've never seen this. And so we decided to start giving it a try. I don't think we got 20 minutes through it. But Linnea Quigley's in it, or Linnea. I don't know how you say her name. Trash from Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, yeah.
She was in everything.
Mm-hmm.
She was in, what was that one with the fucking Angela chick who had the party? She had like a Halloween party, a costume party. They remade it, and Edward Furlong was in it. What the fuck is the name of that movie? And the only reason is because number 2, it said Angela's back, and it was the fucking Night of the Demons or something. Is that it? Night of the Demons?
Maybe.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
She had this like Halloween party for all of her little fucking high school friends, but she was possessed by a demon, or she was going to sacrifice them to demons or something.
Sure wasn't Can't Buy Me Love? Maybe that's...
It might have been. Yeah, that's it. Night of the Demons.
Huh. Nice. Yeah, I remember that cover.
Welcome to, you're invited to Angela's party. And then Night of the Demons 2, Angela's throwing another party. Trick or treat, sucker. Those were good, but Linnea or Linnea, I don't know how to pronounce her name.
I'm going to say Linnea.
She's in it, and she's always naked and everything. And there's this weird thing where she's doing her lipstick and then like puts the lipstick in her boob. Her nipple opens up and like ingests the lipstick. It's this weird fucking... it's like 88, so they're like really pushing the boundaries of practical effects and what they can try and what they can get away with.
Right.
It was a really dumb scene, but
wow.
Yeah. Huh. Then they remade it, and it was who's the chick in American Pie?
Elizabeth.
You know what I mean, right? The foreign chick.
Yeah, Elizabeth.
Yes.
What's her name?
She's Angela in the remake.
Okay.
And the dorky kid that saves the day or whatever is Edward Furlong, who.
Yeah.
That poor kid's career got cut short, man. He's a good fucking actor.
Right.
He just got so fucked up in life.
That's a lot of people, Hollywood kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last good one I saw with him was Animal Factory. Did you see that one?
No.
He was in prison, and Willem Dafoe's in prison with him. His mentor. And it was written and directed by Steve Buscemi.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's a really good movie. I think maybe Danny Trejo's in it, but isn't there like a California law that if you make a prison movie, Danny Trejo has to have a part?
Yeah, it's a thing.
That dude did a real fucking time, man. He was like in Sing Sing or whatever. What's the prison in California? Is it Sing Sing?
Alcatraz? I don't know.
No, I think it's Sing Sing. He did like 20 years, and he was a boxing champion.
Oh, wow.
He was like the heavyweight California Penal Division's boxing champion.
Wow.
And he did 20 years, and changed his life while he was in prison and decided he wanted a better life and he wanted to be an actor and had this whole new life when he got out of prison as an actor instead of as a vato.
Interesting.
You know Danny Trejo, right?
Yeah. I know who he is.
He's in a lot of good horror movies. He's in a lot of bad horror movies too.
Yeah. There's a lot of bad horror movies.
And we're going to let him talk about them all. All right. Well, about that about wrap it up?
Yeah, I think so. I think we hit it all.
Okay. Well, kids, once again, thank you for watching us. Thank you for being a part of it. Why does everybody on these YouTube things say like and subscribe and hit the
Well, I mean, you should like and subscribe. The little
why
button,
though? Why is that a
the
big
button
thing?
down there
Yeah,
somewhere.
why do they do that?
Just so you have more followers.
I guess so.
We want to have followers, don't we?
Yes.
Facebook, go on there. We have a website. Check that out. I think we're going to go on TikTok soon.
If you say so.
See how that goes. Well, you know.
All right. So we're going to do that. And then next week, look for an Evil Dead 1 and 2 review, which will be leading up to us introducing makeup artist Tom Sullivan for the Evil Dead at the Lorraine Palace in April. We'll talk about all that next week. Till next time.
See ya.
Daddy loves you. Do you like that, Jim?
Yes.
Goodbye.